I'm Still Here director Walter Salles was recently in Los Angeles. In fact, February 8th, Saturday night, with director Guillermo del Toro from Mexico of Pan's Labyrinth fame. I'm sure you know his film career. I'm just jealous because I wasn't there, and yet I'm still here. They had a great conversation, and we got to grab some of it on Twitter, excuse me. And I'll tell you right now, as of the recording of February 9th, the explosion and the excitement over I'm Still Here, Fernando Torres and Vatasayas in Hollywood is growing day by day. I really think of the three nominations that it has a big shot at winning International Best Film. So let me drink some water. And this is brought to you by Maite Cavajal. And she was at the event at America Cinematheque in Santa Monica, California, I believe, at the Aero Theater. And let's hear, it's just two short 30-second clips, but these are two masters of the game of directing. And this first one is talking about regards to blending fiction with documentary style. So here we go. Listen in.
With that family for the Land of the Thought. Yes. It was an extraordinary experience. And there are ways to get into that. The way that I'm more comfortable with is definitely by blending the documentary form that I come from with fiction. And Toglioni used to say that whenever he brought actors together, his ideal way would be just to ignite something and then film the scene
as it happens.
As it happened, like a documentary.
Yes.
With that family for the Land of the Thought. Yes. It was an extraordinary experience. And there are ways to get into that.
So this is interesting because one of the big notes we get about this film is how you feel like one of the family. And that is directly on purpose with Walter and where he's coming from as a documentarian. Now, what he's saying also too, uh, in regards to, I think there's a lot of directors that really want to find a way to get the most realistic, natural performances from their actors and then just record their reactions. There's an old saying in regards to acting. Acting is like, was it 95% reaction? And in that reaction, you have to be natural and authentic and real. So yeah, this is this is cool, man. This is cool. Let's see what else. Let's go on to this next one. The absence of Ruben Paiva and semiotics of the lens, camera moves in I'm Still Here. I have to tell you, man, and there's some Portuguese translation. This is incredible. I really got a lot out of this, and I'll explain why in a second.
From that moment on. So the camera that was very vibrant at the beginning of the film, very much as in many, many sequences in here, the camera becomes still and then the lens becomes wider so that there's now negative space in that you feel the absence
Yes.
and then you feel the loss before you have, so that you can understand what you have to overcome, which is that loss, and somehow verbalize it in a way and offer forms of resistance that are not there, from that moment.
Yeah, this is this is incredible, in incredible in that what you're seeing as as an audience member at the beginning of this movie is a lot of celebration, colors, joy, and hopeful changes in life, like the daughter getting ready to go to London, uh, and there's some celebrations of family gatherings. The camera moves with that action, right? It's very rarely like on sticks where it just sits there. And what Walter's saying is that that was on purpose. As we go through the story, the camera becomes stagnant. Not only that, it becomes distant. It pulls out, it goes away from the people. And you really see that obviously when the family decides to move and they're packing. You really see the absence of the husband. Then the absence of them from their home, this home that was just so full of life and so full of amazing memories, but at a distance where it's far away. And Walter's saying that he did that on purpose, which makes absolute sense because the further away you are from your subject, the more uh, uh, negative space you see, you you're manipulated as the viewer into some sort of emotional connection that of and in here it's loss. In here it's loss. So yeah, these are two masters at their game talking about the craft. Let's listen one more time and then we'll wrap it up.
So the camera that was very vibrant at the beginning of the film, very much as in many, many sequences in here, the camera becomes still and then the lens becomes wider so that there's now negative space in that you feel the absence and then you feel the loss before you have, so that you can understand what you have to overcome, which is that loss, and somehow verbalize it in a way and offer forms of resistance that are not there.
That's interesting too. We didn't talk about that, and I really don't talk about that with this movie in regards to the political backdrop, the forms of resistance that Fernanda's character taught. You see it in small steps from what we think is a meek homemaker housewife, which is she's, no Latina woman ever is, into a very public and defiant figure. And you see that grow in her during these years of loss, and then afterwards the 20 years of getting educated, becoming a Amazon rights activist, and then the loss of memory with her husband, but then her memory leaves her in regards towards the end, and then in real life as far as her character in Alzheimer's. Yeah, yeah, and this is brilliantly told from Walter Salles and that discussion. What do you guys think? Let me know right now. Comment away, and please don't forget to subscribe to the Latino Slant. And we have so much great content here on the channel, from Latin America, Brazil, all the way to Asia and India, back to Hollywood. Wherever you're at, wherever you're at on this globe, keep that slant fuerte. Gracias.